There's loads of buzz surrounding NBC's new season of Good Girls. Retta, Christina Hendricks, and Mae Whitman star as hilarious moms turned criminals. This is a really hilarious and really fun show. If you haven't seen it yet, get online, stream a bit of it. It's got 100% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so don't miss. The show critics call audacious and addictive. Good Girls on Sundays on NBC, and you can stream it anytime. Let's move on.
Hey y'all, if you're looking for your next great read like I always am, then you should check out Dear Haiti, Love Elaine. It's written by Maika and Maritza Moulit with an audiobook narrated by award-winning narrator of The Hate U Give, Bonnie Turpin. It's inspired by the Moulit sisters' experience as first-generation Americans. It epitomizes Black girl magic with a smart and savvy heroine who sees her parents' homeland for the first time and learns about the beauty of Haiti and even more about her own family's secrets. All the things I like. So make sure you go get Dear Haiti, Love Elaine wherever books and audiobooks are sold. All right, let's get to the show.
All right, welcome niggas and friends to the show. I am Julia White.
And I am Katherine Johnson.
Welcome back to Read, this podcast.
Have you been watching a lot of Family Matters reruns? Because I have. So when you said that, it was like, oh my God, TV One has been airing a lot of them lately.
I mean, Family Matters has been on Hulu for a minute, and
got you.
I am always one for a good Family Matters rerun. So I feel like I've got references for days on that and many other sitcoms, as the girls know. But yes, another week here in all of our Blackness. Speaking of, let's do some Black excellence. I've been in a bit under a rock, but one thing that has been Black and excellent that has been coming across my radar as of late is a 14-year-old badass dance star out of Atlanta named Jalea Harmon.
That's right.
So, she's a choreographer who came up with a dance that has gone viral that is currently called the Renegade.
Yes, that's what it's called.
And it is usually performed to the tune of K Camp's Lottery.
Yeah.
K Camp, an Atlanta artist himself, I believe. I'm going to say I'm right about that. And yeah, so I was introduced to this dance through clips of little white girls
on TikTok
that are on the TikTok. Which, you know, I didn't pay too much attention to it because TikTok is kind of like learning Japanese to me. Like, I really want to figure it out, but I just don't see me doing it anytime soon. So, yeah, I just saw a whole bunch of little white girls doing this dance, and I was like, oh, this is a new thing that Gen Z's doing that I don't understand, and okay, they're having fun. Fine. Right. Turns out, of course, it was not these little white girls out of Starbucks that come up. Why would I? Duh. But K Camp actually came forward and gave this girl, Jalea, the recognition that she so rightly deserved for coming up with this dance. And that has led her to performing at the All-Star Game, on Ellen. The real First Lady, Michelle Obama, is a fan. So the price has gone up. Yeah. And
it's a great story.
It is a really cool story. And I'm all for it, like Black redemption and same. The girls getting the things that they have earned. I've already seen a taste of information that the monetizing little 14-year-old white children, 16-year-old white children on TikTok, crazy. They're shook. They don't know what to do with being revealed for being the Tauros that they are, because the real Clover has stepped forward.
That's right. Oh,
and she's going to get the things that she deserved.
The New York Times did a profile on her, and then I remember reading that story and thinking, God damn, I am old, because I have never seen this dance nor heard this song. I only see TikToks if people post them somewhere else. But then I saw a video of her, you know, obviously doing the dance, and then I think she did it with the little white girls who stole it and made it popular.
Oh, did she?
And yes. And it's like when I think they invited her to be on their TikTok or something, I guess, to make up for it. Right. Yes. Right. You know, somebody
the parents
made it.
Are involved.
Somebody wealthy was like, let's do something about that real quick. And so when she does it with these two white girls on either side of her, you can see what it was supposed to look like. And it's like what they were doing was, you know, cute or whatever, you know, it was fine. But what this little girl did, it was like, okay. So there's some movements in the wrist that y'all not capable of doing.
Because even when I originally saw the clips, I figured this is wrong. But I just, again, I don't understand the app, and I wasn't about to go down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out which person of color actually came up with it. But every person I saw was like, oh, this is something that somebody black probably made, maybe a Latinx person came up with, and y'all are trying to do it.
It's everywhere now. I feel like everybody is like trying to learn it, and what's most important is that she is actually getting her proper credit and her recognition for it. Like she had said in the interview that she just didn't understand why this dance was everywhere and it was so popular and nobody knew that she was the one who did it. I'm like, girl, because that happens to little black kids on the internet all the time. Every single thing y'all do, they take. So
yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have been shocked that it was a black kid out of Atlanta.
Not at all, but I'm just so I'm grateful that she's getting her recognition, because she did, like I said, just pull up that video and you will be like, oh, goddamn.
Because these kids aren't dumb. And again, like I said, they have people around them that manage them to literally just go to the park and like drink out of these plastic water bottles and do whatever dumb shit. And they like get endorsements and all kinds of shit. Like they literally make money, these children, off of TikTok, and they're just co-opting shit that your baby made in her bedroom and you didn't even know about it. So,
yep. Shout out to Jalea though, because you did that, little sis.
So this week in our hot tops, Dark Waters. I'm gonna let that one sit there.
I know. I got it immediately, and I'm disgusted.
So first of all, loads of bad news. Well, tragic news. My goodness, this week.
That's true.
What the fuck this week?
It was a lot. Yeah.
So Janae Dupois, Willona from Good Times, singer performer of the Jeffersons theme song, overall black icon and legend.
Absolutely. Penny's mama. She passed in her sleep, apparently, or reportedly. Esther Scott, I feel like, died the same day. I think so. Which so I was just like, but this is 2 television icons in one day? What's going on?
Like Esther Scott, who's been in so many things that I grew up in and just being hilarious.
Yeah, she's like one of those faces where you just know her. When you look at her, you're like, I have seen you in everything.
She's in You Got Served. She's been in like in a ton of sitcoms and movies and stuff.
Right.
Then there was this Pop Smoke murder.
Oh my God. When like we was just talking about that little boy and how it wasn't no way he drove that car from Vegas to New York or whatever. And now it's...
But also I remember mentioning before, like, Lord, I hope the police ain't coming for him too. You know what I mean? Like, I figure because he was another young rap star out of New York that was rapping about gang shit and whatever. And I'm just like, I know the feds have every single eyeball on this kid. And they're probably just waiting for him to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I really enjoy his music. And his wave was just like, just fucking getting started, like just beginning. He had this whole vibe and sound so unique to himself. It's so New York. And just first it was reported to be like a home invasion robbery in Los Angeles, I believe. Then I read that it may have actually been like a targeted hit on him for whatever reason. Like, I didn't do too much depth into the research on it because I was just already blown over by the fact that here is another person like a day later, I want to say.
It was a lot back to back.
So that happens. B. Smith passes away.
A true loss. Like, I don't even think the young people know how influential B. Smith was. Like,
I mean, Google's right there.
How important her brand was, like what a groundbreaker she was. And then all this shit with her husband and that white woman he moved in right on her face while she had Alzheimer's and all that.
I don't know nothing about.
Oh my God.
Oh wait, no, I do know about this.
Because it was like all the scandal a few years ago when everybody was like, B. Smith got that, or B. Smith's husband got his damn whore in her house. And when she has moments of like being there, she's like, what the fuck is going on? But you know, the Alzheimer's was obviously super advanced.
She was 70.
it's just
that's so.
When white women die at 70, it's like, oh my God, so young. It's like black women.
70 in black is like. It should be like 40.
I mean, she still looked right. She still looked like 50 hadn't come yet, but it was early onset Alzheimer's, and Lord knows Alzheimer's is a whole bitch. So hearing that she passed was just, man.
And then Katherine Johnson, the hidden figure queen,
the hidden
mathematician.
Figure. Yes.
Smart, overall classic black woman. She was 101.
She was. And some nerd on Twitter pointed out that Katherine Johnson died in her prime. Get it? Because 101 is a prime number.
All right. So, like, this has just been
that tickled my heart.
A shit Black History Month. Just a shit Black History Month. Like, wow. And
then Kobe and Gianna's memorial was
Monday
morning.
I didn't look at that.
I cried all day long, so
I'm good. I'm not volunteering up any more sadness at the moment. Yeah, I don't have any room.
I was in the mood to let out a bunch of tears, and it was a beautiful service, but absolutely heartbreaking.
I read a bit about it.
Well, you should see Beyonce's
performance. Shaq cussed.
He did.
I read that Michael Jordan made fun of his meme.
He did.
And I read that Beyonce sang EXO and Halo.
She did.
And I know that Vanessa, and I read that Vanessa
incredible.
Moved people. Also, she's apparently filing a lawsuit against the company. I guess the pilot or air, I don't know.
Whatever the aviation club, I don't know.
Plane company.
Yeah. Which I doubt is really about her, and probably more about the other families that they can get compensation, because she will be just fine.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of people are taking headlines in whatever direction they want to with that, but I think that is the point.
I mean, and honestly, which one of y'all wouldn't? Like, if you lost your husband and child like that, it's
kind of like a let's make sure this doesn't happen again type of thing.
Yeah, I just won't hear anybody judging this woman for her choices after dealing with something so
I think
utterly
she's
unspeakable.
Doing magnificent. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, I don't know how she's made it to a memorial, has been able to tweet, has been able to do anything.
Right. I don't even know how she got on Instagram.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I would be nowhere near it.
She played Moonlight Sonata. It came after a really cute story about how Kobe had, he was dead ass determined to learn how to play this song for Vanessa, and how much they loved each other and all this. Cute. So it was a truly beautiful service. There were people who were close to them and talked about, their lives. They talked about this little girl and her daddy and all this. And it was just, very, very moving. And I think an incredibly fitting tribute.
Okay. So let's move on from that into something a bit lighter. Erykah Badu's Poon Sense has already hit the streets. It's sold out in 19 minutes. I didn't even know that went up. But Badu World Market is a website right now. I went to it. It's very Badu from the beginning. You have a video of her.
That is true.
Talking about the company. One of the things that she said that the purpose of it is supposed to, I guess, support creatives. And she says, the motto is, I'm going to fuck it up. Take us off your mood board and put us on your payroll. And I loved that.
Okay. I fucks with that.
So she's selling vinyls of her music, a bunch of merch, including some cute long hoodies.
I was about to say them oversized hoodies.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Apparently the art on this was created by some white woman out of Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
And
okay.
And the Badu Pussy Premium Incense is sold out for the moment. I think they're working on more of that. She's got clogs, socks, and crystal infused water bottles.
When I saw that $80 water bottle, I said, you better give us black goop.
I want one.
Them clogs too. I'm like, yo, when she went to Japan, she really absorbed Japan because that looks like the shoes they wear.
Yeah, I'm into a lot of these. I'm gonna buy something.
Yeah,
I like the water bottle. And Erica, like, I don't agree with everything she says, obviously, but she's one of my favorite musicians ever in the history of music.
She's one of those ones where I'm like, I'm gonna ignore your opinions on like men and young girls, and I'm just gonna focus on the music because some of that is highly problematic.
I saw a video of her the other day. I want to say this was Good Morning Texas, but she was singing with her daughter, with Puma, who I think is maybe around 15 or so now. Okay. Such a pretty voice. And they sounded so cute together. And I think that, like, that must be so exciting to be a singer and have a kid and they can sing too. Right. Like, because she's singing or whatever. And the whole time her mama is vibing out and just like low key chanting around, like, come home, Puma. There it is. Like, she's living through. I thought that was adorable. But yeah, I think she's currently getting ready to go on tour. So you can look for dates on that. You can buy the vinyls, like I said, clothes. And I guess that Poon Sense will be back. It's Badu Pussy will be back, I guess, whenever they've got more of it. Yeah. I saw a clip of somebody, this is on Twitter, and this is why social media, I don't know if I can. I saw a clip that scrolled down my timeline of a nigga who had allegedly, gotten one of his Badu Pussy incense, smelled it, enjoyed the smell of it, and then ate it.
I saw him put it in his mouth, like taste it. Yes, I did see that. I don't know that he actually chewed and swallowed it, but like only a nigga. Like, sir, it isn't just dried pussy on a stick. That is incense. It's not edible. It's not for consumption. You cannot eat that. Why would you taste that? Niggas are so weird.
So do with that what you feel.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, but I'm pretty pissed that all you hoes got to it before I could. Y'all know I wanted some of that Erica pussy.
I am really curious about it. I don't remember if when we talked about it the first time, if I mentioned Gwyneth Paltrow's candle.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And how it had also sold out, but I think they restocked it.
Erica tweeted the following: my incense was not inspired by Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth spelled wrong. I live. That's a whole nother kind of pussy. Wow. I've been in the lab for years. I stay on my pussy muscle hustle. However, panties off to Gwen's candle we love at Goop. I guess that's the company.
Yeah. She would love Goop. Like I said, this website is giving me black Goop. These crystal water bottles.
I don't know what white Goop is. Hold on.
Oh, white Goop.
I saw the page with the candle on it, but I didn't look at the rest
Goop
of the
is
website.
A lifestyle brand by Gwyneth Paltrow, and it is full of...
Oh, it's her website.
Yes,
it's her thing.
It is full of the most incredible bullshit. It is a bunch of overpriced things that don't work or that you don't need or that you could get for 2 cents at the beauty supply. It is peak white women chicanery. It is just shenanigans going on Goop. And it has been for years. And I think even now they have a Netflix special about like behind the scenes at Goop and all the stupid shit they do. I don't even know, but
the irony in the name Goop.
Yeah, I can't handle Goop. It's just too much.
This definitely gives me like alleged ally that loves to backpack through
100%
brown and black countries.
It's definitely, pay $1,200 to come to my all women's retreat that has no black, brown, disabled, fat, poor women. Like, it's very white feminist, but make it vegan.
So there's that.
It is a mess.
What do you have here? So this blew me. Puffy had posted a picture, or pictures of himself at the Rock Nation brunch with Lauren London. 2 pictures of him.
Did he?
Loads of photographs from this event. Loads of famous people at this event. He didn't just post that. But anyway,
right.
One of the posts was dedicated to Lauren London, and it was just like both of them in some fancy outfits, looking expensive. One of the photos, it looks like they're speaking to each other or something, or laughing, or I don't know.
They do look expensive.
I mean, come on. But And the other photo, which is the one that apparently caused some foolishness, she's sort of like standing a bit ahead of him, looking fine. And he's sort of in the back with like a champagne glass or something raised or whatever. And it looks like he's like, I guess to some people, it looked like he was checking her out or whatever. But the caption, I believe, on the original photo that he deleted was like Rock Nation brunch. And then he tags Lauren London and puts a blue heart. You niggas
that seems
turned this into
God.
like either them having dating rumors surrounding it or him trying to holler at her, get with her on the heels of Nipsey Hussle's passing and all of this foolishness. So much so that Lauren London actually responded to it. Mm-hmm. After the shit was deleted and basically said, well, her story said, stop fucking playing with my name.
It did.
Now let me go back to healing. But she said, I'm all love and peace, but never forget I'm a woman in grief and don't play about Nip, my family, my character, and code. About to drink a green juice to start the day, though.
That's right, girl.
What blows me over about this is that, like, y'all claim to be so concerned about these widows and their family and the narrative surrounding them, and then created this bullshit ass situation out of literally the fuck nothing. If you look at the picture that I just mentioned and you like zoom in, he's not even looking at her.
Right. It's just, I mean, and I thought the blue heart would have cleared up any misconceptions there. Like, don't we all know what the...
Obviously in reference to
Nipsey, obviously. So, girl, what? You niggas just be nigging. And it ignores the overall point here, which is that Lauren London can literally do whatever she wants to. Nipsey Hussle is gone, and I know y'all are grieving, as is she, clearly, because she posted that picture with the caption that said still his. So but the point remains, when that woman gets to a place where she's ready to date somebody else, y'all are going to have to let her do that. She is entitled to move on with her life.
I just don't understand.
Leave her alone. Niggas just live off of drama and bullshit.
It's like... I just, like, okay, if you're going to, like...
Because you're so perplexed.
Because it just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand the, like, just stewing in mess and shade and whatnot on one second and then the next second trying to battle with people about this moral code or high ground that you allegedly live on. And it's not to say that you can have both situations. It's like a lot of y'all just aren't very good at it. This is stupid. Like that should have never been a thing. Especially on something so serious with a woman who literally is still grieving this man's passing and one that y'all claim to take so motherfucking seriously. Bitch, Zoom has been a part of Instagram for, I want to say, years at this point. Bitch, y'all could have, like, at any point realized that was not what it was outside of the clear shit that you just pointed out, which was that blue fucking heart.
Yeah. Like, it was just
what are y'all doing?
Obvious. It's like people just want to react. Like, they just want to have something to be in their feelings about. So they will find an issue where there literally is none. Those are two grown people who can do whatever they want. But also, there was clearly no disrespect going on. So,
I mean, fine. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can do all of the messy shit. I saw nothing but like Fashion Nova models arguing when I looked up gossip today. So, like,
you know it.
The girls can have, you know, a shady good time, you know what I'm saying, where it makes sense or where it's appropriate. But like, don't on one hand be ready to send death threats to people over how they talk about or discuss or whatever people. And then on the next hand, you want to create a situation out of nothing when it pertains to the same exact family.
Right. Because they don't actually care about Lauren's health or well-being or whatever. They're just obsessed with standing for Nipsey to the point where they would disrespect the woman that he loves because of a picture that they chose to take the wrong way. Like, niggas, come on, man. That was a mess. She was better than me because she kept it real cute.
I mean,
and moved right on.
Mama told you that she had her green juice. I wouldn't be surprised if the doll is doing hot yoga and just aligning whatever chakras she can to just keep it moving. Because again, I don't know how these women are getting up out of bed.
Right.
So
maybe with some Marathon OG. I tried some.
Oh, is it?
And it is not bad. Let me tell you that. In fact, Remind me when you in the mood to smoke something again. I'm gonna keep a sealed one for you.
Got it.
Because it is everything.
It. I mean,
I just it's some good shit. I'm not gonna
lie. But yes. So have we ever talked about Neo on this show?
Neo. I was about to say maybe a long time ago, but that was Miguel. So I don't think so, actually.
I usually don't care to. There's not usually that much to say. Neo, I'm not trying to be shady, but like, I don't feel like
he stays out of shit.
Yeah,
he's not on the blogs.
I can't even think of a Neo thing. I'm sure there are
something with his wife. I'm sure, yeah.
But, so apparently he and his wife are getting divorced, Crystal Smith. I didn't care to figure out why, but apparently it's been something that has been bubbling in the gossip realm for a little bit. So he came forward on a podcast, Private Talk with Alexis Texas. Never heard of this.
What a festive name.
But he basically said it's slowly but surely becoming public knowledge that myself and my wife have decided to go ahead and get a divorce. It's not a sad thing. It's more of us realizing, long story short, I'm never going to talk bad about her. Oh, okay. I'm not that person. There's nothing bad to say about her. She's a fantastic woman. She's the mother of my children, and she's always going to be that, and I will always respect her. But then, like, he dropped a diss record?
What?
Or what feels like...
Lord.
I'm exaggerating. But he put out this new song called Pinky Ring, and on it, it sounds like he's addressing her. Because he basically does this R&B, hip-hop
Does this say featuring OT Genesis?
Oh, girl, it does. Yeah. So he really don't give a fuck.
He do not. Oh no.
But like from what I heard on the song, it very much sounds like, you know what, she felt this way about me, and so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna live that life now, and I'm single again. Back on the pro. You know what? Trina did that. Anyways.
Speaking of Trina, I'm so sorry. Are you caught up on Love and Hip Hop Miami?
I don't do that to myself anymore. I'm not.
It was just on the TV. It was a marathon, and I started to watch.
I know what you're talking about.
Because that shit was incredible. Yeah. That little bitch popped off, and Trina was like, wait 1 fucking second.
She lost her whole motherfucking mind. And that's specifically why I'm not going to do that shit, because I don't want to have my blood pressure get raised over some shit I can't do nothing about.
Little hoes disrespecting Trina like to her face.
I can't even do it. Like what? And from what I saw, Trina didn't do shit to her.
No,
there was literally no reason for you to even do that.
She was just like, don't even talk to me, fake bitch or whatever. And it's like, wait, I wasn't even in on y'all little hood rat shenanigans. I wasn't even in on y'all little ghetto bullshit. It's not my fault them hoes took your wig and your purse and threw that shit in the pool. Like, she wasn't even out there when them hoes started fighting. I'm just saying, I caught up on that show and I was like, oh, clearly I need to tune the fuck back in, because
My Girl's on Kamai's new album. Great song.
This is some shit.
Consistently working. One of the most consistent people in the rap game. And icon.
That's correct.
But yeah, OT Genesis and Neo have a song out. It's called Pinky Ring. At one point, I'm going to butcher the lyrics, but he says something to the effect of, I'm back to singling and mingling.
Come on, singling.
Spidey sense back tingling. I wanted to swan dive off of the fucking West Side Highway.
I just Googled the lyrics and it does say that. Back single and I'm mingling. Spidey sense back tingling. I don't feel bad. I gave her everything.
They got into a heated argument in iMessage and he went straight to the studio. So I don't know what it's giving, but they're not feeling it. He sings, she gave back the wedding ring. I turned it to a pinky ring.
Now I see what you mean about this being a diss record, because why is he talking like this?
Because he's upset.
You better hope I don't go savage mode, nigga.
I thought to myself, like, this is strange. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a break, because women in music do this all the time. You know, they break up with somebody, they write a song about it. It's part of the creative process. So like, why is it so less palatable now with the situation? And I'm like, is it because it's just less palatable for me when a guy does it? And I was like, no, I think it's just that I don't care for Neo.
You know, I think for me, it's the fact that he went out of his way to be like, I'll never say nothing bad about her. She's a great woman. There's nothing bad to say. But the lyrics here are giving me there's something bad to say, and she better hope I don't say it. So which one is the truth?
But I feel like even if he hadn't said that, I would still not like this song.
Yeah, I mean, like, if Beyonce put out Don't Hurt Yourself and then was like, I don't know what y'all talking about, Jay-Z never did nothing, blah, 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 we would be like, that's not what. I mean, the lyrics say you're going to lose your wife. We don't. That don't add
somebody
up.
Else's
So
wife,
I don't get. But, you know, okay. I was hoping OT Genesis was going to cover Love during his part, but I see he actually has
got a baby on the way.
Does he?
He was at that baby shower for that relationship he not in.
Baby on the way? Everybody got kids on the way.
Well, you know what? Great. Neo's hosting World of Dance on NBC, which premieres in May. Fun. Hashtag not an ad. So look out for those things. Moving right along to some more trouble Cardi B is in. Belcalis has had a lawsuit filed against her by a security guard in Los Angeles County Superior Court. The lawsuit apparently states that on February 24th, nigga, it's February 24th today. That's strange.
Was she arraigned today?
No. This is February 24th, 2018. I just thought that was interesting that today's February 24th. But anyway, so 2 years ago today, Cardi B was at the gynecologist. She was apparently 4 months pregnant with Culture at the time.
Okay.
If y'all remember, if you paid attention or gave a fuck, she was very, I mind my business. Don't ask me no questions. Don't take no pictures of me. I don't want to talk about this yet. When she was pregnant.
She said she was just eating.
I mean.
She said something like, can't a bitch just eat chicken or something? I don't remember what she said, but it was some line where niggas was like, yes, yes, you can just eat. But no, she was growing that baby. Familiar. Yeah.
But the security guard at the medical building, Imani Ellis, is filing a lawsuit because she claims that Cardi struck her in the head, face, and body while exiting the building. She also claims that Cardi spit on her and used profane language and hurled racial slurs in her direction.
Oh, Lord.
Truth/Tech Maybe Zero reported this yesterday, a few days ago. And Cardi has since responded by saying, why don't you guys post the part where the doctor office said that that's not what happened? And if I assaulted, why she didn't press charges? Why would I put my hands on someone twice my size by myself while I'm experiencing sharp pain 4 months pregnant? So the story apparently goes that Mama was leaving her appointment. This security guard saw a famous person, said, I'm going to record her, although she is saying she doesn't want to be recorded.
Here y'all fucking go.
And it got spicy. And then now she's suing her because she also lost her job and claims that Cardi used her fame to, you know, get
I would have
fired.
too. I would have too. Leave me the fuck alone.
That's
Don't
not
take
the case.
me.
Anyway, because people who work in the building or were on site in the building have said that it didn't get physical.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like the girl probably got cussed out and maybe it came close.
But she was like, I'm pregnant. I'm not finna fight.
But they actually didn't get physical or whatever. And, let me see here, because I don't want to say it. Whoever she works for said that basically, yes, Cardi's doctor and patient coordinator were the ones who were like, please get rid of homegirl because she violated a patient's privacy. Not a celebrity's or not just a celebrity's,
right? But
somebody who's actually here for our business.
Yes, for medical care.
And her health and the health of her child. So much like how I didn't feel bad for homie who got sat down by the baby in that hotel room, I don't feel sorry for mama right here.
Nope.
Y'all have to, like, what Why? What did you need out of this situation? You felt like if you were to go talk to your best friend or your sister or somebody and tell them that you saw Cardi B at the gynecologist office where you worked, that they were not going to believe. Bring a picture of that bitch. Are you lying? Like, who the fuck cares? Right. It's not that fucking deep.
Y'all, you could have just, I don't understand why y'all are willing to risk your jobs. Like, you are putting your livelihood on the line to get a 6-second clip of Cardi B. For what? Is it really that important to you?
Like, you couldn't possibly be like, oh, well, the baby used his fame to get me fired from my job. No, girl, you're here to work.
Yeah, I actually don't even have to do a lot to get you fired. They probably would have. If it happened to a regular person, you might have still got fired. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it has nothing to do. Like, sweetie, these people, like... These people are here exchanging money for the services that we provide.
Someone needs you to not.
You are on payroll. You literally have shit to do.
Yes.
And this ain't it. So them being famous or not famous would really have nothing to do with you losing your goddamn job.
Don't be on your phone is probably in the top 5 rules for a security guard.
I mean, sweetie.
I feel like that's much less recording people who are walking in and out of this building. What a mess.
Now,
y'all do it to yourselves. I saw Cardi post that picture of her, though.
I'm about to address that as well.
Because that was funny.
She posted a picture of this girl and said, then she sued me claiming I used racial slurs because people have been trying to push that narrative on me for the part 2 years. Oh, simple. Typo.
Autocorrect.
Mind you, this is the girl who's suing me. Lighter than me and look Latin American. Give me a fucking break. She posted another picture of her at the gun range. I don't know why that's
She
funny
went on
to
this
me.
bitch's Instagram, Facebook, all that shit.
Here's a better pic, but she claiming she's African American and using racial slurs. Girl, GTFO, see you in court though. Now sis, just because this girl is light skinned don't mean that she ain't African American or couldn't be African American, first of all. Secondly, it doesn't like have any, it also wouldn't negate the point in you know what I'm saying, using racial slurs when you're talking to her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because she looks light-skinned or mixed or look like she could be Latina or whatever the fuck doesn't have anything to do with you allegedly hurling racial words or slurs or whatever in her direction. So it's like, you could have just left that first tweet. But
when she said that people have been pushing that narrative for the past couple of years, I thought she was saying like, you know, she has been in trouble for calling dark-skinned girls roaches and stuff like that.
Rightfully so.
I thought maybe, So I thought maybe like when they're saying, you know, racial slurs or whatever, that it was something like roaches, something that would be commonly considered to be like a slur against dark-skinned girls specifically. And so that's why she was like, this bitch is lighter than me. Like, please stop with the bullshit. But it is true that you can use racial slurs like regardless. But like if both of y'all are black, whether you black Caribbean or black American or whatever, then I don't really care that y'all exchange racial slurs.
When I read that part, my guess was that she said nigga.
She probably did.
And that Amani was like, no, help me, Howard, because we won't be doing that. That was my guess.
Girl, you played yourself, lost your whole ass job.
Because a lot of the kids are not buying the black shit from Cardi B. I mean, they're not. You know, I don't have a dog in that fight, but a lot of them just aren't. So they still don't care about her claiming black because her father is Trini. I
think so. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't
Google it real quick.
But like the girls are like, no, so not at all. And that's what my guess is. But I don't really know. Again, I believe I read that they also claim that she wasn't calling her and using any racial slurs or whatever. But again, her saying
mother
nigga.
is Trini. Her dad is Dominican.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds very black to me, but I'm going to leave it alone. I mean, since I am neither of those ethnicities. I'm going to just leave it, especially...
I'm letting everyone have their feelings.
Have y'all seen Cardi's natural hair? But I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into whether she's black enough for y'all or whatever. I will just say that this lawsuit sounds like some bullshit.
I mean, colorism is a thing. But anyways.
But colorism between two light-skinned people? Like...
I mean, like in terms of the things that the girls have already chopped her for, not this one incident. Right. Yeah. But anyway.
Oh, well, no, that is valid. Don't get me wrong.
Harvey Weinstein was found guilty of criminal sex act in the first degree involving one woman and rape in the third degree for another case. He skated by the more serious charges. I think one of them was rape in the first degree.
Yeah, I think so.
It says on CNN, Harvey Weinstein faces at least 5 years in prison. I'm sure that he will have all of 14 days with a pizza Lunchable for lunch. Every one of them. Probably like a Frito-Lay.
Probably.
The plain, because he's still in prison. Okay, so you're not getting cheese. You will not have chili cheese.
Honestly, I don't even want no plain Fritos.
Free again.
I just would rather not have a Frito.
I would actually rather not have chips.
Like, why don't you just slap me in the fucking face?
Rather, instead.
Wait a minute. Who posted this video of them ordering a chicken sandwich with chips and the chips was Fritos sprinkled all around the damn... Who did? It was one of a comedian I follow on Twitter. I'm gonna find it. But anyway, yeah, Fritos I'm not eating. But I think Harvey Weinstein is also up for some charges in LA too, isn't he? I think so. I think that's probably the reason why the judge remanded him and was like, no, you're actually not getting no bail because it's entirely too easy for you to skip this fucking country.
He also faces charges of sexual assault and rape in separate incidences in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So I think he's probably just going to go from one to the next and they'll probably put all his sentences together. But hopefully he actually does serve jail time because he deserves it.
And mama's clinging on to that walker, honey.
When I saw him hobbling in, bent over, I was like, girl, give it a fucking rest.
Tuck a tiny violin between his shoulder and chin. Like, sis, okay, whatever.
It didn't work, girl. I hope he goes down for real, man. Fuck Harvey Weinstein. And now all you niggas can stop asking, what about Harvey Weinstein?
Oh, no, the girls are not done.
No, what?
Of course.
Why aren't they?
They're just, they've surrounded this story with, so when's the documentary, Oprah? Miss Winfrey.
Oh my God.
When does the documentary begin? I mean, whatever. Right. I saw that Snoop is on Red Table Talk, or about to be on Red Table Talk. Listen, Jada's calling all of the kids to the table.
I am not interested.
Let's discuss the things. Her hair. That little blonde chop.
Cute. She's so cute.
I just can't get enough of her beauty.
But I won't be watching Snoop on Red Table Talk.
I'm not interested.
I would rather see a bunch of men hold Snoop accountable. I would have liked to see
Blunt Table
Jada.
Talk. You
are a fucking genius.
Why doesn't someone...
I would have rather seen Jada invite Gail and have that conversation. But I get why she invited Snoop. Like, it's something to be said there, clearly, but I just would love to see black men step up and be like, nigga, you was out of line, and this is why.
I know Snoop was like, my mama already dragged me. Like, what the hell else?
Did mama say you had to go on Red Table Talk too?
You know mama probably watches Red Table Talk on Facebook. She probably does.
She probably sent Jada a DM like,
when can we schedule my baby to come in and talk to you about respecting the black women?
Oh my God, it's Kev on stage. That's the nigga who ordered the chicken sandwich through room service and asked for a side of chips and they gave him Fritos.
And they put Fritos on a plate?
Yes, nigga. Like, they put Fritos on the, look at this, on the, the little room service container.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like a little...
They really had the nerve to put it underneath that metal...
Yeah, it's not a bag of Fritos. It's just Fritos, haphazardly tossed.
Wait, he didn't take it off
my bad. I would have immediately called back down there like, come get this ghetto
I'm sorry. Cut back real quick.
Bitch, this is like an elementary school, like, picnic day ass lunch.
Really does look like field day lunch.
Oh my God, field trip when you had to bring your own shit and your mama just threw some chips in a plastic bag and was like, fuck it. Like,
I miss the days of kickball and not having to worry about grown shit.
We really did not value them when we were young. We couldn't.
We wanted to be grown.
It's really impossible for children to value what it is like to be a child, I think.
Yeah.
You just don't really understand the other side, right? I mean, if you have a good childhood, that is. So,
yeah, that's true.
That's an important caveat. What was we talking about?
Snoop, Red Table Talk, chips, everything.
Somebody get Blunt Table Talk fired up. I want to see that shit.
But like, who is going to be the Jada?
John Legend. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's got to be.
You might be honest.
What straight black man has more sense than John Legend? Famous.
Give me a second.
Okay. I will wait.
No,
I will absolutely wait.
Well, John Legend's a great suggestion.
I mean, I just don't see who else could possibly do it.
Does John get high?
I'm sure. I feel like John. Oh, yes. In fact, I have been told privately that he does, but I assume most celebrities do. It's just weed. Will he get high on camera? Probably not. Probably won't smoke a blunt on camera. No.
I think that we're onto something. But yeah, there definitely need to be more men who are speaking to other men.
LeBron can be a part of this round table.
And like, also girls, that's about LeBron got the shop. I guess that's what that's supposed to be. But they just be talking about rap music and shit.
Well, the shop, I didn't like the way they did Lil Nas X.
Ooh.
Remember? That's why you need John Legend in the room.
I forgot about that.
You need John Legend to be like, hold on, brothers, we are being ignorant.
What was my point just a second ago?
I don't know.
I literally held on to it and then I lost it.
Damn.
But like, yeah, I don't know. The situation is that like, I do think that more men have to have these conversations. Oh, this is what I was going to say.
Okay.
It can be true that Snoop was in his feelings and said something that was like not okay. Like we can, because the situation is not that simple. It's not just the specificity of this one situation with Snoop and Gayle. There's lots to say about that, but I think the overall thing is like breaking the cycles of toxicity between black men and women and how we treat one another and all of that stuff. And it's like, y'all can feel like, okay, I forgive Snoop for calling Gayle out of her, or don't, you know, like, or whatever the fuck. Like you can have your feelings about that one isolated incident, whatever it may be. And also understand that we kind of have to change the way that we communicate. Yeah. You know, and I think that that's what a lot of people are attempting to do. And that like passion and feelings, emotions are so high that the girls are just swatting
nobody
all
wants
of it
to
away.
hear it.
Like nobody wants.
Right.
Like eventually we have to sort of just be like, all right, let's.
Or we can just keep pretending we don't have a problem so it can get worse and worse and worse, because that has worked out so well for us.
Okay.
Historically, you know? I just feel like people don't really want to. They don't really want to talk about how the way we interact with and treat each other is flawed. On both sides, you know, like everybody is fucked up, but nobody really wants to get to the root of everybody's fucked upness. We just want to pretend like, it's not really there.
I don't know.
Therapy.
So I don't even have anything for this. The girls were all over the place discussing what Boosie had to say about Zaya. Since then, Young Thug had some dumb shit to say. 50 Cent was joking about it on Instagram.
Of course.
And like, I'm just like, okay, let's review. Here we have Boosie, who talks about dick more than gay niggas.
It's true.
Young Thug should be the last one to judge anything.
You really would think
in the
so.
topic of queerness.
You would really think so.
Like the very last in line.
Wasn't this the nigga in the lilac cinched waist dress?
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. And then 50 Cent parenting, we already know that's not your forte. So just leave us out of that. I just don't like, and I don't want to undermine the like damage that is possible in these types of expressions, especially from people with big platforms and huge followings and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, who, like, y'all niggas, of all of this is like if I were to take Donald Trump or Mike Bloomberg serious by saying, get your taxes done, you've got so many weeks left. You know, like, I don't.
Yeah.
And
like, I just don't pay Boosie no mind. I know that nigga's a dumbass. I know he's ignorant. When he first said that dumb shit about Zaya, I felt like that was all that needed to be said. Like, of course he was going to keep being a dumbass.
I wasn't shocked that he said something.
Fucking Boosie. Like, he is a dumbass. I saw some video of him getting kicked out of Planet Fitness, or saying that he was getting kicked out of Planet Fitness.
There are 7 layers of funny in that story alone.
Sir, first of all,
Like,
no shade on Planet Fitness, but that is like a cute $10 a month. So what?
No.
I don't know how you get kicked out of a gym that charged $10 a month to be there
and serve you Domino's as soon as you walk in.
Them niggas got a bowl full of candy at the check-in desk. Like, it is the most laid back, come here and do whatever you want to, break a sweat or non-gym in existence. Like,
hey, thanks for coming to Planet
I guess
Fitness.
the manager was like, oh,
here's your complimentary Twix.
yeah, Boosie is just, I wrote him off a long time ago. He broke my heart a long time ago, and I have never.
The nigga talk about dick more than he release music. Something at some point needs balance.
Yep. And doesn't he have a gay daughter? I think niggas say he has like a 18-year-old.
I don't know nothing about his kids.
I think so.
Or care.
So,
I just I don't understand at what point you gonna just move on to. So how are you this impassioned about this stuff?
That,
why?
You know, theoretically should have nothing to do with you.
It should.
And yet you're so pressed. Like, if there's a gay topic, you can count on Boosie to address it on Instagram. And it's like, why is that?
If a gay chicken crossed the road, Boosie would be reporting live from the intersection. Girl, find something to do.
It just, most people who don't care about gay shit don't be invested in gay shit. But all right.
I mean, that's not. I mean, I know what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like,
not that they aren't homophobic, but
I know.
He keeps up with every story.
But that's exactly like
the gays do.
What? That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't even talk about dick this much.
Like, come on, man.
Grindr's free. You don't have to pay for it.
And you can be totally anonymous. BGC probably still in existence.
You know what? Let me go over.
Do that shit.
Slide to see if that URL is still active. My childhood, I miss those forums, making gifts, being ghetto.
When them niggas had me sign up on BGC, I will never forgive Asante.
And still
BGC
active.
changed my life.
With this same blue background and this same art, this comic book art of these two niggas piggybacking each other on the top of the fucking website.
I love that some things never change.
You know what? Kudos to y'all to sticking to a classic template.
Right. Lord, okay.
I don't really have anything else to say for the hot topics this week. Like I said, it was mostly grieving and bundles and bundles of weed flying through the Instagram wind. That
is true. So, and all up in that pool.
And all up in that. But y'all need to leave. And I loved how the girls were like, "Is Trina yelling? Is Trina?"
Right.
What?
They were like, "Wait hold up." They all scurried their asses on out.
Nobody needed to request backup. What you're not going to do is try Trina, and that's it. So I'm comfortable in knowing that at least she's surrounded by the girls who aren't going to let that shit fly. But I just can't.
Yeah, there's a girl on that cast who I think you would really like. She was the main one hollering at this girl who cussed out Trina. Like, she was the one who was like, "I'm absolutely finna beat your ass."
Suki?
Is that her name? I'm looking up the
one who put her weave on her head after they jumped her.
Yes, I think that is her.
Suki is hilarious.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was watching it and I was like, I think my nigga would love this girl.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yes,
but I knew who she was before that show.
Of course you did.
So, I don't have I mean, whatever.
This is the exact, this is the girl. She don't take no shit. You have to watch the show just to see how she clocks the fuck out of these bitches.
I've actually been trying to cut back on my reality TV. I haven't watched Housewives. I haven't seen the Love and Hip Hops and stuff, but I do intend to watch Love is Blind on Netflix.
I tried to watch Love is Blind, and it's a little too straight for me, but I did fast forward through the black couple storyline, the quote unquote bisexual man.
I haven't even watched The Circle yet. I don't know. I want a nice, not too battering reality show if I'm gonna watch one. Otherwise, I'm gonna stick to Steven Universe Future and reruns of the shows I like.
And we know the last 10 episodes are coming, and I have no idea what to expect because this show has always blown me away. It has always far exceeded anything I could have dreamt of.
I just can't say it enough.
They could have ended it after the first movie. Like, the fact that they have continued to give us more and more. Like, I trust Rebecca Sugar and her team completely with whatever they about to do. So I am ready to receive. And I am sad to see the show go, but I appreciate when people know they have a good thing and they know where it's going to end and they wrap it up proper.
I'm all for a great box set.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I will be getting the collector's edition. That's right, bitch.
And that will be the piece I need with it being done.
With every DVD, like, you know how they come in like different boxes for each season or whatever. So each one is a different color for each one of the gems. And it's got like a giant amethyst all wrapped around it or whatever.
Or like a collector's edition that comes in a big rose, or like one of Garnet's gloves.
Or a cheeseburger backpack.
I have a cheeseburger backpack.
Oh my God, of course you do. Of course you do.
So yeah, I am absolutely in love with that damn show, and I love that Steven is older now and is fully coming into like, oh, growing up is ghetto, garbage. And I hate it. And like, everything about this is trash.
She's like, oh, I'm a teenager now, and learning a lot of hard lessons. You know, your mama wasn't who you thought she was, and everything's complicated, and you trying to live in the balance of all of it. And it's just so
trying to act like life isn't a tire fire. Everybody around you is sort of making peace with the world that they're living in now, and you're fucking miserable.
Yep, that's right.
Woo! Girl, Rebecca, what are you doing? The Things.
An incredible show that we will miss.
That's it for Hot Tops Dark Waters. We're gonna take a break and then we're gonna come back with your letters. So listen, I love shopping, especially online, because I get to be foolish with my spending in the comfort of my bedroom.
That's right.
If you're a fan like I am, then you should listen to what we have to say about Honey, because they give you all of the shopping tools that you need to save money online by automatically finding the best promo codes and applying them to your cart. It's really simple. It's basically just like something that you can use, and basically like I have it attached to my actual browser.
It's like a browser plugin.
Yeah, like a plugin or app. And you'll go on some of your favorite sites. If you're on Sephora, if you're on BestBuy.com, Target, whatever, it will actually itself look up codes that may be out for anything that it is that you're spending and apply them automatically. It's dope. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, and they're adding more stores every single day. You can click apply coupons, and Honey scans for every promo code on the internet. You know, they're 18+ million members, users. Love Honey since it has over 100,000 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store.
Yeah, because who could be mad at saving money when you're just randomly on a website? Like, oh, I was gonna buy this $50 product anyway, but now that I see I get 25% off and free ship, it's like, thank you so much, Honey.
It's free.
It's like,
Honey doesn't cost anything.
Right. It's a free service. If you don't use it, it's just like being like, oh, I would actually not want any free money. I would actually not want to pay less for this.
Sure.
It's free to use, y'all. You can install it in just 2 clicks. So go ahead, get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/theread. Again, joinhoney.com/THEREAD. Go save yourself some money, like at so many stores, girl. All right, let's get back to the show.
We're back, and it's time for your listener letters.
It is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may just read them aloud on the show. Our first question comes from Mary, who says, I am a 28-year-old living in the city who, a few weeks ago, had sex for the very first time.
28?
She's 28.
Okay.
Yep. My virginity was something I ultimately was holding on to dearly because of my faith. I have been a church-going Christian my whole life. Even after leaving my parents' home and moving to the city, I continue to hold on to my faith. I've looked for loopholes, but everything I read in the Bible leaves no uncertainty as it pertains to sex. It is something that God intended to stay within the bounds of marriage. Well, I met a wonderful guy. I'm immensely attracted to him. We both care for each other a lot, and I decided to engage in a sexual relationship without a wedding ring.
Oh, boy.
Every time we have sex, I immediately feel guilty.
Oh, more? Okay.
I've started therapy to sort through my feelings, but I really do think it comes down to my relationship with my faith. I think so, too.
Yeah, sweetie.
I feel as if God and my other devout Christian friends will be thoroughly disappointed in me. I've also started to look at myself as having lost my purity and given up something special, which I realize is absurd, but I can't help it. My question is, what are y'all thoughts on virginity? Do you have any advice on how to think about and hopefully overcome this guilt I'm feeling? I've thought about not having sex, but let's be honest, it feels great.
I mean...
Correct. It does.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mary, which is a name I think I gave her. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, I think you can actually buy shirts at this point that say virginity is a social construct.
Probably.
Mugs.
This is one of the ways the church controls women.
Listen, I don't want to be, I'm not even going to attempt to like debate your faith or why you feel those ways as it pertains to your faith. I'm just going to say there's no reason for you to feel impure. Yeah. For doing a very human thing that this people do all of the time.
Yes.
I think that you're headed in the right direction, at least for acknowledging the absurdity of it, as well as seeking therapy through it. If you're with somebody that you are comfortable with and you care about each other and this is something that you're doing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that God would want you to feel like trash about yourself for having sex outside of marriage.
Yeah, no, me either.
Just because of what I don't see the logic in that. I think that, you know, if those are your values and your morals are kind of lie in the virginity at this point in definition just doesn't exist for you, I guess, anymore. But like, if you want to like be celibate, if you want to abstain from sex for a while until you figure all this stuff out, until you get married, both, whatever, I think that, you know, all of that is your prerogative, your decision. I just don't think it is fair to you or to your faith for you to like beat yourself up about doing something so simple and human and everyday.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who grew up in this same kind of super Christian environment and can fully relate to what's going on. I mean, not being a virgin until 28, but I did wait a long time, like longer than everybody else I knew, till I was like 21. So I get that, like, you have been taught from before you can even remember that, like, you're not supposed to do this and it's very bad and you're giving up something special for your husband and all this. But I just want to reiterate that, like, we really put this on girls in a way that we don't do on boys. Like,
that's true.
There are certain families where it's like, no, nobody can fuck. But in a lot more, at least in my experience, it's like the girls better not fuck. The girl better make sure she don't get pregnant. Boys will be boys, you know, don't embarrass us. Don't have some girl bring a random baby in here. But it's not like you're dirty and you'll never find a wife because you had sex.
I mean, historically, virginity for women has been attributed to their value or lack thereof. Right. And like, how are they even worth marrying? You know what I mean? Like, so you're completely correct in that it's much harsher when it's directed towards women and oftentimes, or girls, and oftentimes it isn't really a concern when it comes to boys at all anyway. Yeah.
I mean, and having sex is something special, but it's not like you gave something up. Like, you didn't lose something that was irreplaceable and it was like part of your value as a human being. So, but I do understand the church guilt. I do. And I know people to this day who feel guilty about having sex, like grown women who are in their 50s, 60s, who feel like if they have sex that God will be mad or disappointed in them. And it's just like, girl, I'm not going to tell nobody else how to feel, but I just don't believe it. I personally believe that what God wants us to do is follow them 10 commandments. And the rest of it is what men decided they was going to do to exact control in one way or another. But that's just me in my opinion. I definitely don't think you should feel guilty for doing something that is a normal human biological function that most of us will do and most of us have the desire to do. There's nothing wrong with you for that.
Right.
So best of luck to you. I'm very glad you're in therapy. Your therapist should be able to help you, because my therapist has helped me a lot with some stuff that I didn't even realize I was still holding on to in a religious way. It was just like, you know, it's just always been that way. So this is how it is for me. And she's like,
especially if you grow up in it, you know what I mean?
You just
like,
don't,
that's
of
just
course
what you know. It's embedded
of course
in you.
You did this because you were literally, there was no other way you could be. They made you into this, but consider the source is something that my therapist says a lot. And so when I consider, you know, my parents in this full, you know, view of adulthood and seeing them as complex, full human beings, I'm like, yeah, y'all niggas wasn't really in a place to tell me about what was right sexually and what wasn't. But best of luck to you as you unpack all that. You certainly shouldn't feel guilty for enjoying your body. All right.
Not to us anyway.
No. Next question comes from CC, who says, I ended my first real romantic relationship with my boyfriend on New Year's Day. I'm 23. We were together for 2 years, and I broke up with him because I felt like we had too many small incompatibilities that came to form one big problem. Although we technically broke up, this nigga is just as comfortable as he was during our relationship. Almost nothing has changed because I fell for the we can still be friends game.
That was so good.
So we're still sleeping together, and my dumb ass is still helping this nigga run errands because he don't have a driver's license.
Get out of this inbox.
I believe making a clean break from this relationship would be easier if something outrageous happened, like he stole my tax refund or fucked my cousin. But
that is a lie.
But it seems so difficult to get it through this nigga's head that I don't want to date him anymore without shitting on his existence. I don't want to be disrespectful in my delivery because I still have a lot of respect for the time we spent together, and it was valuable to me when I was invested in it, but I think I'm finally ready to let this go. How do you break up with somebody who hasn't necessarily done anything wrong, but they just don't feel quite right for you? Do you have any idea of how I can slide out this situation without crushing his ego? I need to break up with him again, but for real this time. Please help. CC.
Girl, I checked out halfway through.
Oh, damn.
Like, I mean, I understand, like, oh, well, it's not like something terrible happened. We're just not right for each other and feelings. Y'all are so good at that. Like, y'all, I mostly mean women.
Yeah, you're right. We are good at that.
That's close to y'all.
I have been in a situation before where I wanted to break up with somebody who had not done anything wrong. I just felt like this relationship ain't it.
Right, that happened.
And I struggled with being like, oh, I need a reason to break up with this nigga. Like, I need him to do something crazy. I need him to just wildly disrespect me or, have a fucking baby on me, fuck my cousin, something like that. But in reality, all you really need is a desire to not be with him.
I mean, period.
But that can be really hard for a lot of women to see. Like, he doesn't have to do something terrible for you to be like, we're not fucking around or speaking no more. It can just be, you ain't it, and I need to clear you out the way so the nigga who is it has space to come through. So I think...
But she broke up with this dude, but they're basically still together.
Right. Just like...
There's just no label, I guess.
Like, just now, if he sleeps with somebody else, it's not cheating. That's the only difference here. So, right, he's still just as comfortable because you're not actually enforcing any boundaries around this breakup. When you say, if he says we can still be friends or whatever, you could be like, the problem was never that we weren't friends. It's that I don't want to be in this relationship. And so that means we won't be sleeping together. Don't call, don't text, like... You and I are done.
And you putting all this on him, you just as comfortable as he is. Because I believe if you really had a sincere desire to move on and not be with this nigga anymore, you wouldn't still be sleeping with him. You wouldn't still be spending as much time together as you did before. I think you're just as comfortable
for
reaping the benefits of a relationship as he is. But like you said, you basically just gave him the pass to go do whatever the fuck he wants while still being in your bed or doing whatever the fuck, running up your fucking cable bill and all this shit. So I don't really buy that. I think that, I'm a firm believer in we don't need to be friends. You know what I mean? Like, unless you are in a place spiritually, emotionally, whatever, where you know how to do that. And a lot of people are. And even if you do and they don't, it's still like, okay, I know how to do this, but you aren't equipped with like having a friendship with someone after you dated, whatever. So it just can't be. Out of sight, out of mind. Y'all don't need to have anything to do with one another because you're wasting your own time. You're wasting his fucking time and you're not being honest.
Yeah, y'all are 23. There's no need to try to remain friends here.
For what?
y'all don't have no kids together, no property together or whatever. I don't see any reason for y'all to still be in contact with each other.
None.
So if you want him to get the clue that it's really over, then you got to stop engaging in this shit. He will continue to fuck you as long as you let him.
Your objective should always be to run in the opposite direction of a nigga's ego. Cater to his ego for the fuck what? That nigga will be okay.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. He will likely move on.
Right.
Swimmingly.
There's no way to break up with somebody like, and guaranteed not to hurt their feelings. Breaking up is going to hurt somebody's feelings 9.9 times out of 10 because you're saying, I don't want to be with you no more. Right. And the thing is, you're just going to have hurt feelings and get over them because that's what happens. People break up every fucking day. You got to learn how to move on. But that his moving on is not your responsibility. He has to handle that.
Go to the grocery store and get the fat ass iced cookies with that ridiculous frosting on the front.
Oh my God.
They have them for every holiday.
Yes. Them cookies are.
They are. Vile.
I used to think they were everything, but they are just entirely too much.
I used to as well when I was maybe like 12.
Yes.
I don't know.
We saw them at Walmart. I was like, what is this cookie?
Oh my God, so much sugar.
It's like a little cake.
Now I feel like, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, go and get that nigga a baked good or a pastry, an animal arrangement.
Breaking up with a fucking Danish.
And like, here's your severance package. It's not about you or what you do or don't do. This just doesn't work. And I think we're better off living our lives separately.
Yeah.
The end. Like you just said, there doesn't need to be any specific reason to break up with somebody besides I don't want to be with this person or around this person. I would venture to say that that's probably one of the strongest goddamn reasons to break up with somebody.
It is actually the number one reason to break up with somebody because you don't want to be with that nigga no more. So,
and like if you drove your car through his mama's front door, you know what I'm saying? Like it's something ridiculous and he broke up with you for that. That's like an obvious, nobody would really question or argue with you. I don't even think it's clearly not a difficult reason to break up with somebody, which is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like the most toxic, awful, fucking Marah Brock I kill ass breakups be the ones like this where it's like, oh, the complication, but one foot is still in the door and I don't really know
people
how to
don't make a clean breakup,
right?
And that's where they go wrong.
When you still be playing with each other's feelings and not figuring out how to do, and you afraid to be as honest as you need to be, that's when the waters get muddy and you fucking, you sign yourself up or that person up for even further hurt feelings and confusion and resentment
easily. So
when you could just be like, you know what, this isn't working and it sucks. It's going to suck for you or me or both of us or whatever, but this is the right thing to do. And
if he wants to know why, you can just say, because I want to, like, because we're not working together, because I don't see a future with you. You can, don't worry about hurting his feelings. You don't have to be like, because your dick stank or whatever, unless it do. But you can just say, you can just say this relationship is not where I want to be. And that is more than enough. And you have to get to a place where you know that about yourself. Like, again, an issue with a lot of women is we feel like what we want is not enough by itself, but you don't want to be with this nigga. So just don't be with him. And that's it. Can't nobody check you about that.
If you were in the mood for an apple and you had an apple at the house, you'd likely go and grab you an apple. You know what I'm saying?
Rinse it off real quick, shine it up.
If somebody asks you, why'd you eat that apple? You're going to say, because I wanted it. I don't.
Right. Like, I don't have to justify this decision to you. I'm moving on with my life.
You have to break down the nutrients in apples and if an apple a day keeps a doctor. Bitch, you wanted an apple. That's reason enough. I don't.
Yeah, I do get it, but
I mean,
you can definitely do this and be free of this relationship, set both of y'all free so he can find somebody else and so can you.
Because a lot of niggas, if they were like, you know what? I hate that bonnet. I just hate it.
Now that you mention it, I do hate getting in the bed and the fucking pillowcases smell like olive oil. I do hate that. So
I think I'm gonna do something else. And a lot of times they'll lie to you about why they break up. But I just, whatever.
Yeah, you'll be okay though. Don't worry about hurting his feelings. He will be all right. Our last letter comes from May, who says, after hearing lots of reviews from you two and other podcasters about the positive results of therapy, I decided I should explore some of my issues and go as well. I just had my first session today and I think I hate my therapist. I'm fortunate that my job provides therapy benefits. However, we can only choose from a select few therapists and we are only covered for 5 sessions. After I reached out to this therapist, it took her a week to contact me to book an appointment. The day she finally called was the same day I asked the employee help program to help me find another option since I thought I would not hear from her. But we set up the appointment and I went. First problem was that her office was full of trinkets and different crystals. She has those "I've been to Africa" paintings on the wall and signs that say shit like "Namaste," so you don't even have to ask because you know she was white. When I arrived, the first thing she wanted to know was if I asked to cancel the session because she was told by the employee help program that I made that request. I told her that I did ask for another recommendation because I was having trouble getting a hold of her, which is a fact that she did not acknowledge at all. In fact, she spent the first 5 minutes of this session trying to make sure that I'd tell the employee help program that we met today to clear things up.
This sounds so much. Anyway, go ahead.
Throughout the whole hour, I felt like she was a little condescending and dismissive of some of my beliefs and statements. I don't know how much of my feelings towards her were me emotionally closing myself off as a protective measure or her being an ass. Have either of you ever felt this way towards your therapist? Do you think I should give her another try? Thanks for your help, May.
No, I don't think you should give her another try.
I do not either.
I spoke openly before about how I had seen a different therapist than the one I have now, and I think I only saw her once, maybe. I really want to say I went once, but I didn't click with her. I also felt like she was being a bit condescending. I felt like she made little to no effort to actually like empathize with what I was saying or actually give. I just felt studied. Yeah. Which I get as a part of the process. But I think that there's just, and you know what? Maybe some people who are looking for therapy, that would click for them. You know, you're building a relationship with a person essentially. Right. So you kind of need to click with them. I'm not, Mama, if you have spent more than 2 minutes talking to me about that employee help center or whatever the fuck, I'm picking up my pocketbook and hitting the fucking door.
So it's clear to me that what you worried about is making sure you get your payment for this session as opposed to me needing somebody to fucking talk to. And I get like, this is your job, but like, girl, this is something she could have handled totally differently.
You know, and I'm a therapist?
I'm not mad at all that you feel like you don't want to go back to this woman. I feel like that is more than justified. If I were you, I would go back to the employee help program and be like, I did see that bitch, but like I said about finding me somebody else, let's get on that because Little Miss Trinkets and Crystals is not going to work.
Where can I file a complaint?
For real.
Do you have perhaps a little box that I can slip a piece of paper in?
Yeah.
About Ms. Angela I'm just kidding. But I agree. I think that you should definitely just see if there's someone else that's available that you click with more. And try to take it from there. There's also always Talkspace. And
that's true.
I think that's a great tool for people and just how like useful and modern and kind of it has all of these different methods in terms of getting in touch with a ton of people. Again, this is not an ad. I'm just it's useful.
It is.
But yeah, like the number one thing in finding a therapist should be like feeling a sense of like emotional clickage and connection. And if you feel like this person just has a wall up or you have a wall up around them or you just don't see it happening, I wouldn't go for it. And Mama, if you are Black or of color, I would just try my best to find someone who's going to go there.
It can be hard.
Yeah. It can be hard.
And again, I'm not even saying your therapist has to be your same race, but white therapists should definitely be in a place where they don't make you feel uncomfortable about your race or the fact that you have different experiences. When you said that you felt like she was dismissive of some of your beliefs and stuff, I'm like, ooh, that sounds like our first session. That's where we're going with this. Like, I'm thinking back to my first session with my therapist, and it's hazy because it was a lot of tears ago, but I'm pretty sure what we went through was like the basics of getting to know me, the basics of my past, and then what brought me to seek therapy. And then we went from there. And then once the session is over, that's when she does like announcements or, you know, news or whatever. It's like, it's that sort of thing. Like, let's get here for, you know, what we came here for. And then let's settle whatever else needs to be settled. And I'll see you next week. So I don't blame you at all for finding somebody else. This woman sounds like she is not for you. And I hope you do find a therapist who works for you, because the relationship is invaluable when it works.
Yeah. Because I mean, you're telling all your literal business.
Right.
And you want to have someone that you're comfortable with.
Right. Not somebody who's going to be like, are you sure they meant it in a racial way? Like,
right.
I'm not coming to therapy to deal with that. I'm coming to therapy to escape and work through that. Like, I don't come here to get more of that bullshit.
Like, your therapist, from my experience, should be someone who months later could be like, now you remember back in February when
absolutely.
we talked about this and this and that and that, and I said such and such to you, and know, you know, all your family member names and all that shit. They're someone who should really be connecting to you like a friend, like a close family member, or whoever the fuck, who just has like an educated opinion on what you're going through.
Yes. So best of luck to you in your search. I just wanted to bring that one up because a lot of times people are like, I don't know if this is a reason to cut off my therapist. And I do think you should give therapists a try. But when you have an experience like this, it's fine to just move on to somebody else. Right. You don't have to send them no email explaining the breakup. They will be fine.
Right.
Apparently, she got so many clients that she could take a week to reply back to somebody.
Right.
So
she sounds fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about her. Focus on you and your healing, and good luck to you. All right, that wraps up the questions this week. Send yours to asktheread@gmail.com. We will be right back.
So we're weeks away from spring, allegedly. You know what that means?
Please.
It means that the folks may be coming out in the street and flashing smiles at one another once again. So make sure that your smile is intact by brushing your damn teeth. And get Quip. Makers of the Quip electric toothbrush want you to know the one single discovery that matters most for dental care. It is as simple as this, that if you have good habits, your mouth is cool. Brush your teeth for 2 minutes, twice a day, floss regularly, you know, the basics, no matter what brand it is that you're using. Quip makes that simple start with an electric toothbrush, refillable floss, and anti-cavity toothpaste. Quip's electric brush has sensitive sonic vibrations with a built-in timer and 30-second pulses to guide a full and even clean. It literally is a toothbrush that helps you learn how to brush your damn teeth.
That's right.
They've got a floss dispenser that comes with pre-marked strings to help you use just enough. I mean, all of the guidelines and the basics are right there within the products themselves.
And they just want to, they just want to help you get your mouth together because Lord knows dental health is so important. Quip also delivers fresh brush heads, floss, and toothpaste refills to your door every 3 months with free shipping for just $5. So your routine is always where it's supposed to be. I hope you know that you are supposed to be replacing them toothbrush heads every 3 months.
A lot of you don't.
I hope you have not been using that same toothbrush for 3 years.
A lot of you have.
Please join over 3 million healthy mouths and get Quip today, starting at just $25. Just go to getquip.com/theread right now to get your first refill free. Again, your first refill absolutely free at getquip.com/theread. Quip is the good habits company. And yes, keeping your mouth clean is a very good habit. Let's move on.
For all of you business owners selling things online, we understand that getting your orders out of the door can be a pain in the behind. That's why you should use ShipStation.com. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders. No matter what it is you're selling or where, like Amazon, Etsy, or your own website, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface. It works with all the major carriers, including USPS, FedEx, and UPS, so you can compare and choose the best shipping solution every time. Plus, you'll get access to discounts usually reserved for large Fortune 500 companies, because damn that. There's a good reason ShipStation is the #1 choice of online sellers. Make sending your stuff out easier today.
That is so true. Lord knows I don't be doing all that shipping stuff, but Alex swears by ShipStation. It's what she uses to send out the merch. And right now, y'all can try it out for free for 60 days when you use offer code READ. There is no risk at all. You can start your free trial without even putting in your card information, which y'all know is very important. So just visit ShipStation.com. Click the mic at the top of the page and type in READ. Again, ShipStation.com. Offer code READ. With ShipStation, you can make ship happen easily, efficiently, correctly, and all those other things. All right, let's wrap up the show.
All right, so we're back. It's time to wrap the show up with our reads. I'll let you go.
Okay, so
I have a few things and I feel like you might check one of them off.
Okay, well, I just have one that pissed me off so bad I had to close the computer and walk away when I first read this story. It's about 6-year-old Nadia King, who was removed from her elementary school in Florida and sent to a mental health center.
Oh my God.
She was
committed
for 48 hours. She was sedated. Her mother was not allowed to see her until I think 6:30 that evening. And her mother was not. So there's different sides to this story. Nadia's mother claims that they didn't call her until the Baker Act had been issued or whatever, they had decided to commit this girl under the Baker Act and let her know then that something was going to be going on. So this pissed me off so bad that I actually looked up the Baker Act to see what it was really all about. And it is a Florida law that allows for involuntary commitment of people who are judged to be a danger to themselves or others. Now, there are lots of caveats about what this means, and it was meant to be a way for family, friends, doctors to be able to take care of mentally ill people when they are unable to do it themselves. It was obviously not meant for arresting 6-year-olds who are having a fucking temper tantrum and acting up at school because they are 6. Yep. So under this law, once the order, or, you know, I don't know the legal words, but once the decision has been made to commit this person, law enforcement has to take them. That is the whole point of it. Like, you have to take them to the nearest receiving facility, and then there are physicians, psychologists, whatever else there who will examine and all these other things. Okay. So the school says, or Duval County Public School System says, that they did not actually decide to have this little girl admitted to the mental health center. It was a crisis response firm called Child Guidance, which I'm going to assume was either contracted by the school or the public school system. So still feels like this is kind of on y'all anyway. But after she had whatever this temper tantrum is, and we don't know the details of it. They say that she was destroying school property, running around, I don't even know what else, yelling at teachers maybe. And I'm not saying that that isn't possible, but she's 6 years old. So I just don't. The fact that this decision was made by this crisis center, y'all decided to go along with it, and the police came and actually had to take this little girl who is at this point acting like a very normal child. Like, she's just talking, and the officer, thank God one of the officers was a black woman, because she was just being like very upbeat, kept a very cheerful tone in her voice. And meanwhile, this little girl is like, is I getting arrested? Am I going to jail? And it's like, she knows that getting in the back of a police car is like clearly not a good thing. Right. And this woman is trying to just talk to her like, no, baby, you are not going to jail. That is not what we do. Once they get her in the car, you can hear the 2 adult officers talking, and the woman is like, that little girl is not, like, I feel like they just agitated her in there because nothing is going on here. She's perfectly fine. Like, this is ridiculous. But under this law, they have to take her. So I felt sorry for the cop, which is not something I thought I would ever say, because it was obvious that this woman did not want to do this. Yeah. But it was probably going to be a matter of you either do it or you're going to go on some kind of leave while we figure out how we punish you for not doing it. So I don't necessarily want to blame the police here. I want to blame this school. I want to blame whoever at this crisis center decided that a 6-year-old black girl who not struggles, I won't say that, but she has been diagnosed with ADHD. She also has a global developmental delay, which is like an umbrella term for lots of delays in cognitive and physical development. It can be lots of things related there, motor skills, speech, and you can kind of see a little of that when you hear this little girl talk. So it's like all that together, plus she's 6 goddamn years old, plus the school that she is enrolled in, her mother deliberately put her in because it is supposed to be a school that can help out with special needs children. It is supposed to be a school that is a great environment for children exactly like Nadia, and yet every adult involved in this process failed the fuck out of Nadia. And do you know why? Because she is a black child and a black disabled child on top of that. So you knew good and goddamn well you could do whatever you wanted to with 0 consequences. Having this little girl committed, and then for 48 hours on top of that, and then when she sees her mama, they have drugged her up and she's like crying and wants to go home and all this other stuff. And the hospital's talking about she is, you know, unresponsive or unruly or whatever. And it's like, of course she is. She's 6 years old and she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Where is her mama? Who are all y'all people? And why is this happening? It's just every part of it, right. Every part of it is so fucking wrong. The mama has already hired an attorney. Thank God. Cannot wait.
They need to every half pence.
I cannot wait.
Penny, nickel, and dime.
I want the deputy, the police officer's body cam. That's how we can see all this stuff going on. I want that admitted in court. I want them to see how this little girl was acting when these people decided that she needed to be fucking committed. And on top of that, making the decision and then calling her mama. Why wouldn't you just call me and be like, Nadia is cutting the fuck up, girl. You need to come get her because we feel unsafe. If it was really a situation where you felt unsafe, then why wouldn't you at least call her mama first before you decided to put her in a fucking institution? Because y'all don't give a fuck about black children. That is why. So fuck every single person involved in this process. Can't wait till Nadia takes your school and all your goddamn money and gets to sit the fuck back and get the specialized care she deserves in an environment where people are not going to treat her badly for things that are outside of her control. You know the child has ADHD. You know the child has developmental delays. She is at a school specialized for children with special needs. So why is this happening? Take it all, girl. Take every last goddamn dime because you deserve.
Woo. I did see this story. I forgot a bit about it, but with the onslaught of garbage in the news.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to be angry about, but it burns my grits because shit like this, every time it happens, I know in my heart of hearts that y'all would never do this shit to a white baby. Oh, no. We don't never hear these stories about some little white, neurotypical, upper middle class white child being hauled off to jail. We never see that happen. It's always black and brown kids. It's always kids with something else stacked up against them. It's all like poverty or mental illness or whatever other struggles they might have going on at home. It's always the most marginalized kids, the kids who are the most at risk for something. Like they're the most at risk because y'all keep putting them at risk.
Right.
This is some school to pipeline shit like in action. They lay in the groundwork to get Nadia institutionalized for the rest of her days. And I hope this lawyer steps in and says, God damn it, no. Point blank and period.
Girl.
Okay, I'm done. That pissed me the fuck off.
Rightfully so. I have a few things I'm going to try not to take forever. First of all, I know we're not threatening Ava DuVernay for having a very simple opinion.
You know we not.
This is so fucking stupid.
Man, if y'all don't calm the everlasting fuck down.
Bernie Sanders tweeted, what day was this? Saturday? Maybe? Friday. I've got news for the Republican establishment. I've got news for the Democratic establishment. They can't stop us. Ava DuVernay retweeted this and said, I'm undecided, but I know this isn't what I want. That led to the Feel the Burn fans, a few of them anyway.
Yeah. The Bernie stands.
Yeah. A lot of the stands, you know, had words for her, but a specific few were saying things like, talking about her getting capped, how to get yourself on the guillotine list, calling her bitches and hoes, things of that nature. Mom, I'm going to repeat what she said.
Yep.
I'm undecided, but I know this isn't what I want. That's the tweet.
It's not disrespectful in any way.
I don't.
And it just isn't.
And again, this is in response to Bernie Sanders saying, I've got news for the Republican establishment. I've got news for the Democratic establishment. They can't stop us. I just don't see what the issue is besides, once again, the loathing nature that so many of you direct towards black women when it comes to pretty much any goddamn
correct
thing. This to me was just mind blowing. Of course, Ava is a queen of queens. Someone was like, I'm about to just go enjoy my day. Like,
okay,
I'm not even going to do this.
I'm going to log off.
I can't understand, and I really don't feel good about so much like back and forth negativity on this side. You know, I mean,
on the left, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
oh Lord, well,
like what? Anyway.
Yeah.
I get the differing opinions and stuff. That's literally how all of this shit works. You know, the people are going to have those that they, you know, campaign for, get behind, support, and those that they don't.
Yeah.
Sidebar, shout out to Ether, having a great week. I was at the gym. I was at the gym when the debate started, like literally as it started. And I had my headphones on, but thankfully they had the captioning
on
the screen. So in between each set, I was like going back and forth because I was not finna miss that shit.
Right.
And I pay some of these debates, but I wasn't gonna miss that one.
Well,
and
go ahead.
And I was just like, I know they're going to light fires. And I knew who it was going to be. And boy, did she give me what I was looking for.
That's correct. Elizabeth came straight out the gate with, first of all, where you wrong at?
I about put them damn weights down at one point and said, where's my wallet? Do you take cash out, Liz? Because anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't feel great if this is what we're doing out here. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why so many people stand Bernie. I do. But come on.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Like, and Ava DuVernay, like the idea of white people coming for her is just too much for me.
What are we doing?
Like, Bernie acts like he don't need the Democratic establishment, but he's running as a Democrat because he does need the Democratic establishment.
It's just two and
the Democrats also need Bernie's crazy ass. I won't say all of y'all are crazy, but the Democrats need Bernie's fan base to vote as well. Like, we need y'all to not just drop out if Bernie's not the nominee or whatever. It's like both of y'all need each other, but y'all are acting like this can't be talked about because your fave is your fave. I don't stand politicians, but
again, if Ava DuVernay would have been like, old man, get in the ground.
Right.
If she would have said something wildly disrespectful, then I would be like, oof.
Or if she endorsed Bloomberg, then okay, fine, let's go. But no.
Couldn't have been more basic.
Did you see Chrissy Chula's video about the Democratic debate? Oh my God, it was so funny.
I saw the post of it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah. You have to see that video.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it in a minute.
It's so funny.
Also, I didn't like a lot of how y'all were talking to SZA when she basically came forward after that Rolling Stone cover came out. Mama basically tweeted a couple of things, but all she essentially said was, I'm not taking no more pictures of doing video interviews. She's on the cover of Rolling Stone.
I did not know that. I'm Googling it now.
With Megan Thee Stallion and with Normani.
Oh, okay.
And it seemed to me like maybe she just didn't like how she looked in the picture. I think that she looks adorable, but obviously that's irrelevant when it comes to how you feel about yourself. She also made sure to say, shout out the other two women on the cover and how, she felt great to be sharing the cover with them or whatever. But it seemed like she probably just felt, not great about how she looked, which happens to, I want to say, so the fuck many of us.
Yeah.
Damn near all of the girls.
I mean, every last one of us has photos of us that we don't like. So I guess this was her. I mean, and I'm looking at the cover. I don't really love it the way I thought I would when you described it. But I mean, let the girl be disappointed or whatever. Like, it's a fucking magazine cover. Who wouldn't feel a way about it if you didn't like the way you looked on a magazine?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and a lot of the bullshit that I saw was sort of surrounded, in this idea that celebs today are too sensitive and, like with Summer Walker basically saying that she's quitting the music industry twice a week.
The way she chopped up her nose is devastating. I didn't even recognize her. That nose job she got.
I'm sorry.
That breaks my heart because she did not deserve.
But I just feel like at some point y'all need to give some of these people, give them a break is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's so easy for us to be like, oh, well, you're famous. And so what's there to complain about? You're rich. What's the problem? And da-da-da. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're not still human. And the way that you express these human things to me is key. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you would have come on Twitter and just said something completely vile or ridiculous or nonsensical, in your insecurity, then I'd be like, girl, whatever is in your mentions is in your mentions. But Mama essentially said what y'all be ready to cap your best friend if they tag you in a picture that you don't like, or take a picture at an angle that you don't like, or whatever.
Be quick to report it. Text a nigga, take that down. Y'all be quick to untag.
You're
so
talking
please.
about a magazine cover. This girl can't escape that picture where she at the airport, bookstore, grocery store, coffee shop. That picture is going to be all over the place because it's one of the biggest fucking magazines in the history of the goddamn nation.
Yes.
So why can't she just be like, and also express, I don't feel a way about this, and this is how I'm, moving for right now. Why can't she just express the first goddamn thing or second goddamn thing that comes in her mind on Twitter like the rest of y'all niggas do too? I just don't. Why?
Celebrities aren't allowed to struggle. They're never allowed to express any unhappiness or discontent with anything.
A nose job.
Yeah, I saw a lot of pictures of Summer Walker, and I do believe she chopped that nose up, and it makes me sad because I thought her nose was fucking adorable. But
girl, if you like it now, it's your face.
Yeah, if you like it, I love it. And just okay.
Lastly, this one is kind of nerdy, so check out if you want. I don't really care. I want to sort of talk about the video game industry, but mostly it's pertaining to corporate greed.
Oh, okay.
So specifically, Kingdom Hearts. I've spoken endlessly about it being my favorite franchise. The third one, which took literally half of my life to get here.
Oh, it really did.
Came out little over like January of last year, I believe.
Oh, I remember because we skipped recording.
I sure did.
I do remember. I remember that.
So this January, they released DLC for it, downloadable content, and it basically is like, it was meant to sort of be like I don't even know how you would phrase it, like a retelling of sorts of the end of the game, basically.
Okay.
Now, one of the main issues that a lot of fans of this game specifically had with the third one that we all waited for was the ending of the story. It's supposed to end this saga, be the end of a trilogy, and all of these fucking games you released out throughout my whole life. It's supposed to tie all of these things and characters together, and it sort of just fell flat. That was one complaint I had about it myself. So I personally believe, after playing this retelling that they just sold to us for, I want to say $24 or something like that. I will look it up. Just
the DLC was $24?
I'm about to look it up just to be sure, but I want to say it was like $24.99. But I played that, and it felt to me, this is theory. Again, I'm not in all your Reddit pages and shit like that, so I don't know if y'all have been talking about this. But I want to say, I feel like this was the ending that they intended to release the entire time, because it felt more weighted. It had more of all of the characters involved. It just felt really spectacular and over the top, and like what the ending of it should have been for a moment in this story that it's supposed to be as big as it is. So I honestly feel like they knew that they weren't going to have that ending done in time, and they didn't want to push it back again or whatever the fuck. And so they said, you know what? Let's just put out the game the way that it is with this shit ending. And then we'll resell the girls the ending that they should have gotten all along. Next year, $29.99 is the price for this shit that came out on January 23rd of this year. I honestly believe that they knew damn well that this was the ending that they meant. And the reason that the reason I feel like that is because in this age, it's just the DLC age is kind of about as old or as the wait was, as long. Like, I want to say DLC sort of became a thing 2 generations, I don't know, past 12, 13, 15 years, I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
But a lot of companies now have been taking advantage of the fact that you essentially don't need to put out a finished game, because you can release patches for it throughout time that download automatically and fix the bugs and fix the amount of times it crashes or what doesn't work here. Or you can also sell people additional parts of the story or pay this amount of money for new characters or whatever. And I just feel like a lot of companies, developers have been taking advantage of it. And not only are you asking for sometimes $60 some odd for a video game, you're asking a lot of times for motherfuckers to give you that money like a year ahead. Woo! You know what I'm saying? You'll announce the shit in June and then be like, oh, this game hits shelves holiday of next year. Pre-order now for $7.99. And you can also pre-order the collector's edition for $89.99. And it comes with a new jacket that your character can wear. Whatever the fuck. And it's just like, okay, I have no problem with pre-orders. I have no problem with DLC and all that stuff. But a lot of these companies are taking advantage of consumers and putting out bullshit because they know they can be like, oh, we're fixing it. And we'll have it to you in a matter of months for another 30 of your dollars. Another way that like corporate greed in gaming grosses me out is through microtransactions, specifically in mobile games. Microtransactions have taken a lot of heat when it comes to console and PC games, especially because of companies like EA that have completely abused it. And there are mostly places and governments outside of the US that are like, no, we tired of our baby spending all of our fucking money. We're not going to do it. No. Like there are literal governments out there that are like, and a lot of these developers, these companies that make video games, most of them don't exist in America anyway. They'd be in Europe, Canada, Japan, all those places, China. So those people being like, this is essentially gambling have sort of, I feel like, made developers that make games for consoles and PC a little bit more wary on how they do the microtransaction thing. Because for a lot of gamers at this point, they hear microtransactions in the game. It's enough for them to write it off altogether. Even in situations when it's not that bad. It's mostly bad when you're saying, here's this game that you already paid X amount of money for, but in order for you to like really play it or get the most out of the game, give us X amount of money.
I don't fuck with that.
Versus just being like, here, give us $20 or whatever, and your character will be different colors, or they'll have this costume or whatever. Like that shit to me doesn't make a difference, whatever. But the way that it's like super gross is in these fucking mobile games. Cause a lot of them are free, but like in order for you to really play the game, you have to give them like however amount of money for some crystals or diamonds or gems or whatever the fuck so you can actually play the goddamn thing. A mobile game that I got into not long ago is called Marvel Strike Force. I'm not going to get into all the nerdiness of it because you won't know what the fuck I'm talking about anyway. But it is essentially a turn-based RPG that is based in the Marvel franchise, right? And so what you do is build a team of Marvel characters that there are hundreds, if not thousands of them. And you know, play the game or whatever, but it really doesn't give you more than a couple when you start. And then in order to get more characters on your team, you have to play the quote unquote play the game. And each character has a certain amount of shards that you have to collect.
You did not have to say shards.
Cause stupid, dumb, just dumb. They're always shards or gems or crystals or diamonds or emeralds or some fucking stone. Like whatever. So
shard is like
coins,
a sliver. Like why?
Because you need to collect like 100 shards in order to unlock one character, right? Bitch, you know that I want Shuri and Storm and Black Panther on my fucking squad. But in order to do that, you have to do X amount of missions, and each mission will give you maybe 1 or 2 shards. You have to play the game for your whole life in order to get the characters that you want. And there's no set place that you can go to collect the shards. They're random. So...
But they have an option where you can just buy a bunch of shards.
Or...
Okay. See, that's what's
spend $30 some odd dollars.
Oh no, that's what I don't like.
On a package of like 2,000 gems that you use to buy shards. Yeah. You not even buy like
you can't even buy the shard.
But they do this thing where every day they have, there's literally like a feature off to the side on the menu that says offers. And every day you can always go in there and buy gems or whatever the fucking the other forms of currency are called. But they also offer you different character shard packs that change every day. Let's say a different 5. So, right, you can go in there and maybe they'll have like a storm pack that's like, here, give us $30 for 50 storm shards if you want to play a storm. So you give them the money or whatever, and then it's like, oh, but you actually need 100. So we've made 2 available. So buy another pack to get the other 50. Dumb shit like that. But not only is it that, if you log in to play the game and you're like, I'm not giving y'all no money. Every time when you log into the game for the first time any day, they will like every menu that you go to, they'll pop up an offer. Like you can't just go to the menu, the offer menu to see what the offers are that day. That is the worst. Anytime you click through, they're like, hey girl, did you know that you can play as Okoye today? If you give us $49.99? No girl. Thanks. Get that out of my face. I just want to check my inbox. Click the inbox. Hey sis, we also have on the table a $30 pack if you'd like to be Iron Man. Leave me alone. Yeah. I don't. So like that to me, I don't understand how mobile mobile games get away with the microtransactions, because that's flat out greed. Like, it's not even hidden behind storefronts or little other ways that the gaming like world has sort of figured out how to do in other areas on your phone and iPads and shit like that. That's why Kanye was dragging the Apple Store that one day, because North was like, I would like all of the Candy Crush diamonds.
Oh my God, I remember.
And
yes, like, what she spend, like $100 or something? She did something.
I don't remember if he said the amount or whatever, but he was like very vocal on and I thought it was so hilarious, because it was like, you ain't above the rest of the shit that any other parent with a baby that has an iPad or whatever is going through, because that's everybody.
You did not know your baby could do that, but your baby could do that, and it was just waiting for the opportunity.
They asked you to do Face ID because for the what's it called, the filters.
Oh yeah.
Little did you know.
You had thought they be watching y'all type in them codes. No one can pick up Jade's phone and unlock it like it ain't nothing. I'm like, oh my God.
So like
FaceTime niggas like, okay.
But altogether, I just feel like the practices are so gross. And what's worse to me as a person who loves games is that game is fun. It's actually a really good game. A lot of the games are good. And I know that games are expensive, especially like a lot of these independent developers that spend all of this time and money to make fun games. Like, I don't have a problem spending a little extra money or giving you, spending your money on a starter pack for something that's great if it's done right. Yeah. But the sheer like greed, you know what I mean, behind a lot of these things and the practices are disgusting to me, and they're gross, and I feel like people should do better. Yeah.
I don't mind in-app purchases as long as you can play the game without them.
That's it.
That's all I ask for.
And like, play the game.
Yeah.
Not play the game for an hour, and then if you want to play it some more, spend 55 diamonds and shards. That's dumb. That's why I just fucked with Wordscapes. I'm like, girl, I'll even give you the $4.99 to get rid of ads
Wordscapes,
or whatever.
Right. I just buy it, and then I can sit there and connect words to my heart's content. Like, one-time purchase. Same thing with Red Herring is another, and Seven Little Words, another like just nerd game that I love.
Adore I Love Hue.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
And I Love Hue too. It's like a color puzzle game.
Ooh, okay.
And I gave them the, I think
Hue,
$5.
like H-U-E.
H-U-E, yeah.
Okay.
I gave them the money for like to remove the ads, and I played it for a few levels before I even saw one. The only reason I went to the menu to like maybe adjust the music or something like that, and it was like, oh, remove ads, and I was like, there's ads in this game? Okay, cool. Like, but I enjoyed it so much, I was like, oh, I have no problem giving you this $4.99, especially if it makes it ad free. But it's like a very fun basic game that even in its in-app purchases, there are in-app purchases in Wordscapes too, but they don't beat you over the fucking skull with it every time you boot the game up.
You can easily play the game without them, and that's all I ask.
And you can do it without them.
Yes, I just ask that every level can be completed without buying
something.
And that should be a standard across the industry. It's wild that it's not.
I'd rather just straight up, like a lot of these free games that are built around in-app purchases, I'd rather just give you the flat out $30, $40 and just be able to play the game front to back without having all of this other bullshit in my face. And it's like I said, console games, the PC games, they are getting more flack for it, because even great games that are being developed by great development teams are being ruined and given a bad name by greedy ass publishers and companies like that. So most of them are like, okay, let's tread light, because the girls just won't buy these games. Whereas the mobile games are just like waving their greedy ass dicks around like it don't make no sense. I don't understand. And they be right up there in the fucking stores like, our game of the week is this greedy ass bullshit. I don't get it. So
the greed is the whole point. That's
it.
It's just damn.
Because again, like I said, I don't have a problem spending the money, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't have a problem spending the money, but it's about how you do it. Don't be gross. That's it.
What an incredible word. Yes, don't be gross. And that wraps up this week's episode of The Read. Make sure you check us out on social media at This Is The Read. Our website is thisistheread.com. You can get tickets for our spring tour at thereadlive.com. We will be in Dallas and Houston the weekend of March 21st and March 22nd. So yeah, those are coming up next, but we also go into LA, Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago. So again, thereadlive.com. We will also be at the Roots Picnic for real this time. So come to the Roots Picnic, and we will see y'all there. Any news for you this week, friend?
I'm just so excited to have some chicken in Dallas. Dallas, I don't know if I'm sure I've said it, but I'm going to just repeat it because it deserves Dallas had some of the best goddamn chicken I've ever tasted in all of my life.
I'm trying to remember where we went.
I'm going to ask my cousin.
What was that spot?
I'm going to ask her one night.
But I remember, and it was damn good.
It was so good.
I feel like I had it before too, but I don't remember what spot that was.
And I know somebody in Dallas is going to be in our mentions tomorrow and be like, girl, it's such and such. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know that there's probably like a list of a couple like really good ass chicken places. And one of y'all, a few of y'all are likely going to say the name before my cousin even tell me. But yes, I'm looking to go back and get more of that goddamn chicken. And I'm looking forward to being in pretty much every other city that we're going to as well.
Yeah, these are some of my favorites. And I am looking forward to talking to you niggas. It is always a time when y'all get on the mic and start talking about your best friends and your mamas and your boyfriends.
Did you see the girl who was in our mentions talking about my non-white boyfriend that's color got me booed at the Reed Lodge because I was too drunk?
She's still blaming him. I was like, sis, you was the one who was drunk and
you were
like
just drunk and you couldn't get it out.
Sense,
like, we're not mad at you, sis. We just needed to move on.
We're not holding some grudge against you. Right? We had to keep the show moving.
Mama was like, because also and for real.
Well, it didn't help that the whole ass Apollo was booing her. That's why I was like, I did kind of feel for her.
I want to go stop them. They'll do it anyway, but it's the Apollo.
That's true, right? So booing has like a historical context here as well. It's like, damn, girl, you got booed at the Apollo. You wasn't even on stage.
That's like a privilege. Lauryn Hill got booed at the Apollo. You're in great company.
You should actually write that down.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody what you got booed for.
Classic.
But just say it. But yeah, girl. Best of luck to you and your passing man who is in black. We still don't get the details of that.
So confused.
And we'll never know. We'll never know.
We were saying, once we found out that the nigga went black, we were like, why are you talking about this?
When I was like, okay, so he can pass, but so he doesn't know he's black or what? She's like, oh, he's not black. And that's when the audience was fed up.
Yeah.
That's when they were like, get her off.
They were already on the edge, but that was the moment where I was like, pass the mic.
So if you would like to come, get on the mic. Then
don't be afraid.
Right.
It's a welcome environment.
After we give you all that, please come to our show and subject yourself to this because we have a good time. So
it's all in love.
It is. TheReadLive.com. Come hang out with your blacks. Anything else for you? I feel like I already asked you that. Did I not?
Yeah, and I just started talking about chicken. I don't have anything this week. Get your laughs where you can. Mm-hmm. Get your peace of mind wherever available. Have a great and prosperous week. Hopefully of positivity. People are burning the world down. Lots of our faves are going on to glory. Mm-hmm. So just where you can get you some positivity and some good vibes, go for it.
Yeah.
Let the bullshit go.
Absolutely. Love your people while you can.
All right. Bye.
See y'all next week.